after Barcelona was interesting, and this is a great reflection on mindset. So come home from Barcelona, destroyed. I'm pretty disillusioned. I went on a holiday with my partner at the time, came back, and Stuart Home, one of the colleges here in Brisbane, was looking for a swim coach. So I went and did that for 6 months to sort of work out what I wanted to do. And every time that I went to a function or got invited to a lunch or something, I would collect business cards, right? And I would get these business cards and I would write on them where I met this person, and then I'd file them into a folder. And when I came back, when I was ready to, after coaching with all the girls, I thought, well, I've got to get a real job. So I got out my folder and I started calling these people and saying, hi, it's Julie McDonald. We met at whatever conference, blah, 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 or event, la, la, la. I'm looking for a job, wondering if you've got any jobs going, and they would go, have you got a degree? Have you got this kind of training, and no, sorry, no, I can't help you. I got to M.
And run out the letters.
Yeah, it's a lot of letters. And I only saw it the other day. Anyway, and there's lots of cards in there. And I got to M, and they said, well, if you can start tomorrow, we've got a training course starting. So I was like, okay. So it was pretty soul destroying, because I just didn't know what else I was going to do. And then when I made a comeback in 95 and tried out for Atlanta, I got third at the trials. Obviously hadn't given myself enough time to train, but originally I only got back in the water to train for Masters because that was in Hawaii. I was trying to get that holiday in Hawaii.
Yeah, I reckon.
2 months in, I went, stuff Masters, I'm going to the Olympics. So I went and changed coaches, went to Mr. Carew and said, will you train me? And he said, you've got 10 months. And I said, will you train me? And so anyway, he said yes. So when I finished trials, even though I got third, I felt really satisfied. And I thought, you know what? I can do anything if I really commit my mind to it. And I felt really good about it. And so then when I got back to Brisbane, I got job offers. I had people saying, hey, I hear you've retired, can you come and do work for us? And then, I started in my first job, and then, a couple of months, pretty much, like a year in, then I'd be somewhere and someone go, what are you doing? I'd tell them what I was doing. They're going, have you ever thought about doing this? No. Why don't we have a chat? So then I just kept being poached, and I went from one job to the other being headhunted, and it was such a different experience, and I just sort of look back on that and I go, it was totally mindset, the energy that I was putting out there. I came back from Barcelona shattered, feeling that I had let so many people down, that I was a disappointment. Whereas then I came back from Atlanta trials feeling like, hey, this is possible and anything's possible. So that was a massive difference for me. And, in that time after Barcelona, I stayed away from the Olympics. I didn't, I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't, I just did my job that I was in, and I put on a lot of weight. I was pretty, probably just wasn't living my best life. And then it was interesting after 96 how different that was.
Yeah, I think for me, I think had a similar experience in terms of like the mindset that you've got. Like at times, let's say like last year, at times when when things shut down, it was tough. It felt like are we ever going to get out of this? And it felt like there's no, like, I don't know where the business is going to go. And I just sort of shut down any possibilities of growing or changing what we were doing. And then when things started to open up, and, in this positive frame of mind where, anything's possible, opportunities start to come. And then you sort of take those actions and you have some success, and it just really starts to grow. And it is so much to do with mindset.